Hey guys, thanks for taking time to click on this video. If you could do me a favor and leave a comment, anything you get out of this or any questions you have, just go ahead and please just leave a comment down below. I'd greatly appreciate that. Now, the point of this video, let's get directly into it, is being overweight, being obese, one of the biggest questions that I've asked myself many a times and that I've had to address many a times, and I get asked or I see asked a lot, is when it comes to working out and exercise, where do I start? And you'll get a lot of information out there. There's tons of it. Do I start with a personal trainer and, pay for 6 months worth of personal training? Do I go to a big gym and just wander around and see what I can figure out? Do I hop on YouTube and see what videos I can find and stuff like that? That one there is, I'll touch on that in a different video. We'll actually reveal a few things on that because there's some bad, hinky stuff going on. Another thing is, do I join a Facebook group and ask, the thousands of members and get 15 different conflicting ideas of where I should work out? The thing about being overweight and being obese and working out is we have mobility restrictions. You always do. In fact, mobility restrictions are on almost everyone. Even if they are not, overweight, doesn't mean that their joints and their tendons and ligaments and everything move how they're supposed to. Doesn't mean that they have full range of motion of everything they're supposed to have. I've been trying to get fit my entire life. I have always been fat. And for the past decade plus, probably closer to, for the past, my whole life. I've been trying to get fit my whole life. So for over 40 years. And I've taken it really serious at times. And then again, as you can tell by my looks and appearance, I've failed. I've stumbled, not always because of the exercise, but because of my own issues, my own problems, my own addictions, or whatever is my stumbling block. I know it very well, and I've tripped over it many times. And maybe you have as well, and it happens. So on starting a physical exercise program, I wanted to do a video series with exercises that will actually work with obese, overweight people, and some starting points of where you can actually start at. Exercises that will get you functional mobility fairly quickly. You'll be able to feel differences, you'll be able to see differences, but without damaging your joints, without damaging your knees, without damaging your shoulders, your back, because all these things are a reality that we all face. I have a knee that is completely destroyed. I was told, I think roughly 5-6 years ago, maybe longer, that my knee was gone. The best part about it was a torn meniscus. That was all that was left of the meniscus, and it was torn. And it was basically bone on bone with arthritis, yada yada. But they can't do surgery on me. One, I'm too heavy. Two, my age is, they would have to do 2 or 3 surgeries, because I would wear it out so fast because of my weight. They only last a healthy average weight person 5 to 10 years. Well, if I'm overweight and obese, they're doing a wasted surgery for no reason. Walk on it until I can't. So finding exercises to do that is a huge challenge. I've worked with dozens of physical therapists and personal trainers, and I've met some really great ones. And I've met some really, really bad personal trainers that they have a certificate, they work at a franchise gym, but they don't know anything about somebody who is morbidly obese. You Google or you search on YouTube, exercises you do when you're overweight or obese, and some of them are downright scary. And that's that's something that I'm going to address in the future, is pointing these people out and calling them out on it, because they are downright going to destroy somebody's joints, ligaments, tendons, because of their ignorance on the amount of stress that is put on our body by being obese. You cannot put yourself in certain positions when you're obese and expect your knee or your back or other things to actually hold up. So I'm going to be putting the series together. I'm going to start off with some very functional, basic core movements, some things that you can get to see some results with, and I'm going to build on those every week. So that way, no matter where you're starting, you start with video 1, and it doesn't matter what level of fitness you're at. The way we're going to address this is you'll more than likely get something out of it. A lot of people don't realize that even a healthy person, or what appears to be healthy, can have limit of mobility. They don't always have full range of motion. They don't always have healthy tendons. They don't always have, healthy joints. It's not just an obesity problem. It's a condition that we all live in because we aren't active all the time. Just because you aren't overweight doesn't mean that you're in great health. It's a fact. So this program will focus on overweight and obese people because I understand the range of motion. I also understand that you cannot always, achieve what you see in exercise. Reach down and touch your toes, or you need to go walk 5 miles a day. These things don't always apply to somebody who's obese. And I'm going to be showing you, where the range of motion is on each movement that you actually garner a benefit from it, where you can actually regress a motion or an exercise to a point to where you can start a foundation and build up to how much of a stretch is actually okay, and you're going to increase over time. One word of advice that I have for everybody is I did not get fat overnight. I've stayed fat my entire life. I have times and spurts where I've lost a lot of weight and I've gotten healthier. But obviously, I've failed at staying at that. So the goal is to try to stay fun, try to stay in movements and motions that are enjoyable, things that are fun to do, things that we can see results with, but they aren't going to come tomorrow. When we go through a first video, it may not have it's not going to have the miracle pill. It's not going to have instant gratification. This is going to take a little bit of time. And we'll go over, when you're starting out in another video, things that will happen of hurdles ahead of time. So you'll actually know what hurdles are coming, what obstacles you're going to be hitting that nobody talks about. Nobody talks about where you can exercise and eat healthy to a point where your body shuts down. Not necessarily in a bad way, but knowing more about this, we'll get into in another video of what is actually happening and why, and everything's going to be just fine. But unless you know some of these things, it's so easy to get off track at that point in time. It's so easy to be like, oh no, my body can't handle this, I quit. And some people will tell you, yeah, you can't do that, don't do that, and you quit. We don't want to quit. We want to make sure that everything is done in a way that 1 is safe, 2 is enjoyable, 3 you get to see results. Because the biggest goal about exercising is the reward of doing it. Not the reward of how far you get, not the reward of, I gained 5 pounds of muscle, not the reward of I lost 10 pounds. No, your reward is putting in the time. Your reward is putting in the effort, because your effort is investing in yourself. Your effort is what is needing to be put on a pedestal. That is your attaboy. That is your good job, is you put the effort in. You may not have got the goals that you wanted to that day. It's all right. You put your time in, you got your reps in, you put your effort in, that's your reward. Follow along. Let's see where you get. Let's see what we can do. Leave comments. Please subscribe. I greatly appreciate it. Have a great day.